we have started with the shape server practice, right? So within shape, whatever files you will have within a recipes, these are in format of Ruby extensions. It will have .rb as the extension of the file. Okay, and these are the installation steps for installing Ruby on Linux machine, on Amazon Linux machine. So first step, you will click on EC2. You will select for T2 micro, which is free. You will select for Amazon Linux. Then you will click on connect SSH-I username, add instance details. Within security group, you should have port number 22. It should allow the traffic for the SSH connection. That's an important step here. Then only you can have this command successful. After connecting, you can try for sudo yum install ruby-y command. You can cross check for the Ruby version via ruby-version command. Also, you can install git because we have saved Ruby practices programs on this particular repo. Okay, so that's why I'm recommending you to install a git. After installing git, you can cross check for git-version, and you can copy this URL for cloning this whole codes, Ruby codes, into your machine, and then you can start practicing these codes. Okay, so I'm pasting these steps on a discussion tab. Simultaneously, one by one, you can also start practicing it. Now I'm already having an instance, but for you I'm just letting you know steps to follow. Here you will click on launch instance. You can also name this as Ruby machine. You can select for Amazon Linux. You can have instance type as T2 micro. You can select for key pair, or if you want to, you can create a new one. Here I am naming this as Ruby, and it will be with .pm extension. .pm, which is used for connecting from terminal. And I'm also selecting a security group which is already allowing port 22 here in inbound rule. If port 22 is not there in inbound settings, do add it. And then I'm clicking on launch instance. Now I will connect to it once it will be in a running state. Now this instance is in running state. You can click on connect. Here you can copy this command. Then you can open terminal on your machine. Then you can go for downloads folder, sudo chmod 400 keep your name .pm in my case, and then I'm entering SSH command here. I'm saying yes for the connection, and in this way I have connected with new instance. Now I will update this instance first. So I will try for sudo yum update -y command. Okay, and let's try to install git first. So here I am trying for sudo yum install git -y. You can cross check for git version by git -version command. Now let's try to install Ruby here. So we will try for sudo yum install ruby-y. Now let's cross check for Ruby version by ruby-version. Here you should get a output. Now whatever programs that we are having, I will just clone it to my EC2 instance. So here I am copying this URL, entering into terminal. I will try for git clone and URL for the same. Here folder name was Ruby, so you can go with ls command and folder will be there. You can enter into folder via cd space name of folder. And these are the programs that we will try to run and try to study today. So let's go through first program, that is for the hello world. It will print a hello world as the output. So let's see a code. Here I am entering sudo nano, name of file. So if you want to add comments similar to CCPP, you can add hash anytime. Hash plus some statements that will be comments over here. If you want to print something, you can try for puts command. Puts space in double inversion, you will have the statement that to be printed. As simple as that. Now it will print a hello world as the output. If you want to add few more statements here, how you can try? You can just type puts in double inverted. Here I am writing welcome to Ruby practice. And double inversion complete. Okay, there is no semicolon here as comparing with the CCPP. If you are writing the code on the new line, that's enough here. Here I am going with Control S and Control X. Now I want to run this program. I will try for Ruby space name of file. That's it. So let's try it. Here I am trying for Ruby space name of file 01 underscore hello world and extension is .rb here. What output I am getting here as a hello world, welcome to Ruby practice. Understood? If you are making some changes here and suppose you have not completed this statement, here I am saving it as it is, closing it, and now I will try for running it again. So I am getting an error at the line number 3 here. Okay, so let's try for editing it again, adding updating it, then going through Control S, Control X, now running it again, and I'm getting an output. So this is your first program that you will try. Let's try for second program, that is regarding a sum. So let's try for sudo nano 02 sum.rb. Now here we are declaring some variables. I am declaring two variables. One is a, which has value as 10, b, which has value of 20, and third variable, that is sum here. So sum is equal to a plus b. So in the background, what will happen? 10 plus 20 will be calculated. It has the value of 30, and this 30 value will be saved in a sum here. Understood? Then why we are using puts? From the previous practice, we have seen that puts is used for printing something. So it's printing a statement. The sum of dash dash and dash dash is dash dash. Understood? And we need to call for this variable. Now how we can call? We can go with hash and then bracket, curly bracket, and within that you can add a variable. Suppose I want to print the sum of 10 and the sum of 20 is dash dash, that is sum here. Okay, so what will happen? It will print a statement, the sum of 10 and 20 is 30 ultimately. Okay, so let's try to run this program now. Here I am saving it, closing it again. I will try for running it via Ruby space 02 tab, entering it. What is showing? The sum of 10 and 20 is 30. Okay. Now let's try for third program. So here I am going with sudo nano 03 and third number program, that is conditional. It's regarding conditional loops. Let's cross check it. So you must have heard about if else rule. Why we are using if else? When you are having two conditions, one is contradiction of other. For example, Here suppose user has inserted a number equal to 7 and we want to cross check whether this number is positive or negative. These are the two conditions. Or suppose third condition is there, user inserted 0, so we can't say 0 is a positive or negative number. So the first condition, if number is greater than 0, we can say that it's a positive number, and we will go with the printing the statement that puts dash dash number is a positive. And here we are calling for this value, integer value. How we can call for it? You can use hash and curly bracket, and within curly bracket you can have an integer value here. So if number is greater than 0, you can have a message that number is positive. Else, if this condition is not satisfied, we will get a message number is negative. And if these both statements are not being satisfied, as user has inserted 0 as the number, you will get a message that number is 0. And at last we are having end as the statement. Understood? So this is the general syntax you can have. If else, it's a general way for if else loop. If more than two conditions are there, you can also use if else if. And also you can use nested if else. This is called as nested if else type of syntax. Now let's run it. So here I am trying for Ruby space 03 tab, running it. So what is showing? That particular number is positive. Suppose you want to edit this program, and here in place of 7 I am just updating 0. So what will be the output? Just go with the logic. What will be the output? Here, as user has inserted number equal to 0. Is the first condition will be satisfied? Whether the number that has been inserted by the user is greater than 0? No, 0 is not greater than 0. Second condition, 0 is less than 0. That is also not logically correct. Third condition, it will be satisfied that number is 0. Let's save this program. Here I am saving it, closing it. Now I am running it again. So what is showing? 0 is 0. Suppose let's try for editing it and adding negative number. So here I am writing as the -5 as the input, closing it, and let's run it. So what will be the output for -5? -5 is negative. Okay, so in this way you can try for if else loop for any conditions. Now let's try for fourth program. So this fourth program is regarding loops. So here is a for loop, and here is a while loop, no while loop. Okay, so why we are using for loop? My question is that at which condition we can use for loop? Any guesses? When lot more calculations are there. Okay, and you want to stop that particular calculation after some intervals. Suppose you want to you are having numbers from 1 to the n, and you are having a function for calculating, for example, n factorial, right? Or suppose you want to calculate all these numbers, so n plus 1 iterations are there, that needs to be done, and in that case you can try for loop here. So there is a meaning for I plus plus. What's the meaning for I plus plus? I is equal to I plus 1. Okay, and there is also I minus minus. Okay, what's the meaning? I is equal to I minus 1 here. So when you are having I plus plus, there is a table for it. First of all, you are having I value as 0, then I plus 1, So I will become 1, then 2. Likewise it will be continued until the nth condition. Understood? So suppose I is less than equal to 5. So what will happen here? And then next condition is I plus plus, means I equal to I plus 1. Okay, so first of all I value will be with declaration here. Suppose I is equal to 1, so first value will be 1. Then you are having second iteration, that will be I plus 1, so value becomes 2, then 3, then 4, until this value will be satisfied. So when you are having 4 here, so 4 is less than 5, that will be satisfied. Again it will go for I plus 1, so you will get 5. So whether 5 is equal to 5 will be satisfied, then again it will go with termination at last. Okay, so output of this will be 1 2 3 4 5 here for every iteration. Suppose you are having some loop. So for I value, already values are given by the user level. You can have an interval over there. For example, suppose you want value from 5 to 10. So how you can declare it? You can use 5, 2 dots, and then 10. So value 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 will be selected here. Okay, and puts, which is used for showing output. So every iteration output will be here, that is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So you will get output 1 to 5 and 1 to 5 and 1 to 5 again when you are running this program. Let's try to run this. So here I am running it via Ruby space 04 tab, entering it, and you will get 1 2 3 4 5 1 2 3 4 5 as the output here. And why we are getting output as the iteration? Because within a print statement, like we are adding a print statement in CCPP, here we are adding puts in place of print. So that's why we are getting iteration and then number in a sequential manner here. Now next program is regarding arrays. So when you are having same type of variables, you will use arrays. For example, suppose you want to store a name like India, right? So you can have a character type of array. Suppose you are having you want to store integer type of array, that is also possible here. So let's check for array program. So here I am trying sudo nano 05 tab, entering it. So we can have array as the same types of variables you can use. So we can have variables 1 2 3 4 5 that can be saved in the array name as ARR here. Puts, which is used for printing. So suppose you want to print a first element, it will be at the 0th value, right? So here in our array, you can say that this is the 0th value, this is first value, this is second, this is third, and this is fourth. Okay, suppose I want to call for array value number 2. So what will be the output here? 3 will be the output. Okay, likewise, and here we will try for iterative through an array. So for each element it will be printed. So we will get output here as the 1 2 3 4 5 simultaneously for this type of code. And for the first code, you will get a 0th element as the 1 as the output here. And diagrammatic representation for array will be like this. Okay, so here you will have 0th element, that is 1 2 3 4 5. Likewise, I think /0 is also there at the start. Okay, so that's an array representation. Now here I am running this Ruby program. and you are getting output first element 1, element 1 2 3 4 5. Now let's try for 6 program, that is for the hashes. Now lot more things are there, integer value, character value, etc etc. So you must have heard about the union in CCPP. So it's similar to that. Here you can have we call it as a hashes here. So you can have person. So person will have details about his name, age, city, etc etc, and you want to print it. So you can call for every value from the person here. So you can call for person name, person age, and person city, and puts that has been used for printing the values. So one by one this particular entity will be selected, and then other entities will be called for it. So it will print likewise John 30 New York, but along with these details. So name, colon, name, a double dot, and it will have John. Then age double dot 30, city double dot New York will be printed here. So I'm just running this program, Ruby space 06 tab enter, and you are getting output. Expected output is like this one. Now next program, that is for the methods. So here I'm entering sudo 07 name of program. So you can define a method within the code itself. Always we are calling for the method. So you must have heard about call by value, call by reference in your engineering or graduation. So here we are defining a method as the greet, and within that variable name that will be used, and we are returning with the message that hello and variable name here. So suppose you are declaring you are having name as the Alice and Bob, and you want to printing a same message. So that can be used here. So you will get output hello Alice, hello Bob. So rather than typing 2 times, you can call for the method and you will get the output here. Suppose for n number of times you want to call for the variables over there, you can use this type of method. Now let's run this. So here I am entering Ruby space 07 tab, entering it, and you are getting hello Alice, hello Bob as the output. Now let's try for the classes. So sudo nano 08 tab, entering it. Now you can have definitions and along with classes here. So for example, we can have class as the person. So person can have values regarding name and ages, and we want to print something. So you can get a message hello my name is person name, and then person age years old as the message here. So suppose you are having 2 details at the same time, so you can call for classes in that case. So you can declare class at the start, you can end it, then you can have particular object details, person 1 details, person 2 details, and you will have a message that has been defined in a definition that hello my name is so output will be hello my name is Alice and I am 25 years old. This will be first statement in your when you are running it, and second statement will be hello my name is Bob and I am 30 years old. So let's try it. Here I am trying for Ruby space 08 tab, running it, and I am getting output as expected. Then program number 9 for reading file. So there are few file operations are there, right? Which are they? Suppose you are having a file in operating system. So you are reading it, you are writing it, and sometimes you are also executing it. Some setups are there. If you are accessing it, so you can execute it. So for reading you are using R, for writing you can use WR, for executing you can use X. Okay, and suppose you want to add some permissions here, so for the file level you can use chmod command. So for execution you can use 1, for reading you can use 4, for writing you can use 2. So 4 plus 2 plus 1, 7, means you can have full permission. And these settings will be on a user level, on a group level, and on a global level. So suppose you want to add full permissions, in that case you can try for chmod 777 command. Okay, that is on a file permissions level. Suppose you want to try for only read level, what will be the code? For read level on a user level, for read purposes only. So suppose file name is file.txt, so you can have chmod 400 file.txt in that case. So that's why when I was connecting my EC2 instance, I have tried for chmod 400 key pair name at the start of the session. Understood? Now, as per the program, here we are having program name as a read file .rb. So from this program we need to read some files which are present in the same directory here. So we are having example.txt, and let's see the contents of example.txt. I will try for cat space example.txt here. So what are the contents that has been saved in a example.txt? This is the example file. Understood? Now I want to run this read file program, and it must read a file from the same directory. Now let's see code for read file. Sudo nano 09, entering it. So the code start for checking the file, whether this particular file is present on directory or not. So it will check for the existence of the file. So what it's showing? File name is dash dash dash. File name is example.txt. If file exists, then open it. Else you need to print a message file not found at the last. And as we can see that for reading we can use R here. So we can try for file.open function here, and we will provide R permissions, reading permissions, and for checking it. And if the file is not present, you will get a message file not found. Now let's run it. So I will try for ruby space 09 tab, running it. So what it's showing? It's showing the contents of the file. Suppose I want to delete this file. Okay, I will try for rm space example.txt. So file has been gone. Okay, now no file is there. Now I am running the same code again. What is showing? File not found. Now let's create a file. So what's the command that has been used for creating a file? Touch, and name of file was example.txt in our case. Let's edit it. So I'm trying for sudo nano example.txt, and I'm adding message, this is new file. I'm saving this, closing it, and now I will run the program again for reading the file. What is showing? This is new file as the output. So this is 9th program here, and last program now, that is for writing to the file. If file is present, we will write something from the program itself. So I will try for sudo nano 10 number tab, entering it. So for writing we are using W here. So which content we will put into file name, that is this is a sample text written to the file as the output, and we will save this within a output.txt file. So in my same directory there should not be a this type of the file that has been named as the output.txt. So what I will try, I will delete my output.txt from here first. So here I am going with rm space output.txt. Now we will try to run this program, that is write file.rb. So here I am trying for ruby space write file.rb. So what it's showing, content return to output.txt. Now here I am going with ls command. You can see that output.txt file has been created here, and you can cross check for the contents of this file via cat space output.txt. Okay, what it's showing, this is a sample test returned to the file. So these are the 10 programs you need to practice.